What's going on, guys and girls? This is Kazi and welcome back to Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. I thought, as a change of pace, I would show you some of the decks that I have created. Now, since the last YouTube videos that I have been doing, I apologise for the gap that I have been busy. But I have created a hell of a lot more decks and also purchased more cards, especially with the new Pokemon Ancient Origins coming out. One of the decks which I was asked to in my previous video to look at was my Grass Venusaur EX deck, so I will show you what this consists of. Now, a lot of times I do like having an EV in a lot of my decks purely because they're quick, they're simple, you can evolve on your first turn with just a simple energy card put onto them, and the fact that the Furious Fist version of EV can evolve into whichever version of EV that you would like it to, as long as you put the right energy on it. So obviously I put the grass energy on it to make it into a Leafeon. The Wurmple, I have this combination purely because it doesn't take damage from a Pokemon EX, so it's really good if you come up against somebody who's got a hell of a lot of EXs and things like that. You can build up this Beautifly. I would like to have another one in this deck, and I do actually have another one, I believe, as well, because I think I got another one from the Roaring Skies deck. I believe that is from anyway. Bidoof is just a bit random, to be quite honest with you. It's a bit temperamental. I tried to include him into this deck. I've got him more than anything because, again, with the double colourless energies and the fact that he can take anything, he's just a normal type, he's quite good to build up quite quickly if you get him quite early doors and you manage to bring something else to evolve him pretty quickly, or even if you manage to get lucky enough that you draw him in your first 7 cards of your hand. And he can do potentially a lot of damage if the luck's on your side. Again, it's if the luck is on your side. I have 2 Venusaur EXs and a Mega Venusaur EX. Again, really good because it takes a lot of time to charge up Venusaur, but when you do, he's got a lot of potential because in his Mega form, he paralyzes and poisons, so they're never really going to be able to attack you. And with the normal Venusaur EX, obviously, it can capable of poisoning and it can heal itself as well, so it's got a lot of backing to it, but it takes a long time to charge. Kangaskhan, again, I like to have him because he's got 3 draw-free cards in his first deck. First move, and it only needs 1 card, so it's good to be able to bring it out. And what I have been doing as well with my other decks is been bringing Kangaskhan out and putting Lucky Helmet out, so in every turn that I get attacked I can pretty much draw 5 cards, so it's good for getting cards out very quickly. Heracross, again, is just there for pretty much a cover, and he's capable of reducing damage when he uses Guard Press and doing more damage with Giga Power if you needed to, so it's always there if you need to. And then this is just some of the energies that I have put in as well. You can scour through them. I'm presuming if you play Pokemon, not that you'll know what a lot of these do anyway, but I may need to want to edit this deck myself just because of the new cards that have come out, and I haven't really modified this deck since. And I've got 4 colourless energies, a special energy, and 14 of the leaf energies, and I've got quite a hell of a lot of coins as well now, so this is my Venusaur deck. This is one of the most commonly used ones that I have used online, and I'll just hit save just so you can see. But I'll let you have a quick look at the other decks that I've been creating. The Dragonite deck, I've had quite a lot of games with this one. 47 overall of 121, but that doesn't really count for disconnects and things like that. And to be quite honest with you, I probably have lost more than I win because I'm not claiming that I'm anything a genius. But not just that, a lot of these decks are quite temperamental as well. I've been working with them as I've been doing them, so... And I do apologise for that. I'll just go back on this so you can look at an overview instead, which will be a bit easier. But I have been working with a lot of... That's why I've created a hell of a lot of decks now. And with this, I've got the Shaman EX because it's capable of drawing 6 cards. And then you can bring it back into your hand. It can, again, be a little bugger to be able to try and damage because it goes back into your hand. It doesn't take damage. I've worked with the Dragonair, and these cards from the Roaring Skies are absolutely amazing. The fact that you're capable of doing 150 damage, and Dragonite is pretty much gets no consequence from this. But in what I mean, a lot of times there's always kind of a thing of, oh, the Pokemon can't use this move again, or there's a heads or tails situation, or it may take an energy off it or something. Dragonite doesn't have any of this. Now, it takes 5 energies to be able to charge this up, but again, if you work around it properly, and Wrapped in Wind is capable of putting 2 basic energies from your hand to this Pokemon, you can build it up fairly quickly, as you can imagine. So I like to use that. Thunderous EX, I like to have him in the deck because he's always got that possibility of being able to do tails, to be able to make your Pokemon paralyzed, or heads to do the more damage, and he's quite quickly to charge. Again, chuck the Venusaur EX combo in this. Dragonite EX. Now, this is a little tip that I'll give you guys. Again, if you play Pokemon quite often, you might realise this. And you can read it anyway from its ability, but the ability is basically that when it draws this out into your hand and from your hand to your bench, you can move energy cards attached to this from other Pokemon to this one, and if that happens, you can switch that out and it will become your active Pokemon. Now this is really good if you, for example, I build up my Dragonite, my original Dragonite, and it's got barely any health, then Dragonite comes out EX. I can bring this out, and I'm capable of switching the energies and bringing Dragonite EX out pretty quickly and putting the energies on it as well. And especially with him needing 5 energies to build up Dragonite, I can put all of them on Dragonite EX and use Jet Sonic, and he needs 3 and he'll discard an energy, but that'll do 120 damage straight away. And you think about it, I'll still have 4 energies on me. So even if I was unlucky enough to be able to get somebody to come up and discard one of my energies or something like that, you know, it's always going to have them energies there, which is really good. And yeah, that's pretty much all this deck's consisted of, just Dragonites pretty much, because that's precisely why I've called it the Dragonite deck. And I have had some good games with it. I've had a bit of times where I've been quite unlucky, to be honest with you. For some reason, even though I've got quite a few basics in it, it doesn't seem to always draw basic, which kind of annoys me sometimes. I'll show you this deck. This is because this has got a lot of the Origins, Ancient Origins, the new ones in, so I'll give you a quick show of this. So Golett and Golurk. Then this one switches from a Psychic to a Fighting type as well, and it prevents all effects of your Pokemon's abilities done to this Pokemon. Of your opponent's Pokemon's abilities, I apologise. And the superpower move, you do 40 more damage. If you do this, Pokemon does 20 damage to itself, though it doesn't actually take 20 damage because it's resistant to fighting. So you'll end up doing 120 damage with this. Again, it's a card that does take quite a while to charge up, and its HP isn't always amazing, but for the fact that it's got 2 typing is sometimes can give you that potential in a game as well. Built up and put the Gallade in there, because Gallade is really good, because again, it doesn't take much to charge up. All it needs 1 Psychic, so you can use colourless energies to charge up its other moves as well. Spiritomb kind of chucked in there as a bit of a wild card, because you can stop the opponent. I do apologise. You do stop the opponent from being able to evolve, so if it's got something out that you know is going to damage you fairly quickly, you can bring Spiritomb out, use that, it can stop him from being able to a thing yet, and it does the 10 damage. Again, it's not nothing amazing of a Pokemon card. And then you can use Confuse Ray as well, and hopefully be able to confuse them. The unknowns, I really do like these in the new deck, is because if you need a base card, they're there at the end of the day, but if you don't need a base card, and they come into your deck, you can use these, you can discard of them, and they will be able to let you draw out another card. So they can be good to be able to pull out that another card if you need, especially if you pull something like a card that allows you to be able to bring out, like Pokemon Fan Club, that allows you to bring out 2 basic Pokemon. You can use that, and if you think you need another energy or something, use that and try your luck with that. Hooper EX is, again, nothing spectacular. He needs 2 energies, discards 2 energies as well to be able to you do 100 damage to one of the opponent's Pokemon, so it's not always a very strong Pokemon because it takes a while to charge up and it needs 3 Psychics, so it's not going to use any colourless energies, which can be a pain at times, but it can pull out 3 Pokemon EXs, which is really good for being able to pull out my Tyranitar and Mega Tyranitar EX and Sharpedo EX, and especially Mega Tyranitar as well. If he does any damage counters on the opponent, it does 60 more damage for that, so it can end up doing some wild, like 500 damage. It's just crazy. Sharpedo is really good because he'll do the 30 damage and be able to switch your opponent's Pokemon. So if you've got something, they've got something out, you know it's going to do damage. Say if they've got a charged up EX themselves or a Mega, or they've got something out like Suicune, which doesn't take damage from EXs, you can get the switch out and do the damage as well. So it's good to be able to mess with their deck as well. This is a new one that's in the Pokemon Origins, be able to get 5 basic energies out of your discard pile, shuffle them back into your hand. Not too bad of an idea if it comes later on in the game, you've not got many cards left, and you can get them energies back into your hand and hopefully working better for you. And this is just a few other energies that I've been using with trainer cards and things like that in this deck as well. So it just gives you an overview of what I've been using. Like I said, that's the Lucky Helmet, that's the new one in the Origins, which can allow you to draw 2 cards every time your Pokemon gets attacked, and as long as it's your active Pokemon. The Healing Scarf, it's been from Roaring Skies, that heals 20 damage every single time. Tyranitar Spirit Link, so obviously when we Mega Evolve, it's not going to end a turn. These are the new ones that are in the Ancient Origins. Dangerous Energies. So this puts 2 damage counters on any Pokemon EX that attacks you, as long as you've got it on your active Pokemon. And this one makes the retreat cost 2 less, which is really good for the Golurk because of the fact that it takes 4 retreat costs. So if I can get one of them on there, then it's really good. A Rainbow Energy that can go on any, but it'll take 1 damage counter. And this is the amount of energies that I've got in this deck as well. And we'll finish off on, at the moment, I'm going to say the Steel deck. This is a very temperamental deck, but I wanted to be able to use the Dialga EX that I managed to get from Phantom Forces. Again, this is really good, Dialga, because it's not going to take damage from EXs. If you manage to use Chrono Wind, it takes 3 to charge up, but if you can get it going, can devastate a lot of EXs very quickly. Shaman EX, again, to be able to draw it in and out. Tornadus, he's good because he doesn't need any energies, any colours, like I say, his normal type, and he can do the 60 more damage if you've got the same number of cards in your opponent's hand, and again, you can get it to switch in and out, which is good. Then I used the Beldum, Metang, and Metagross, which are in the new Ancient Origins deck, so that it can do 80 damage. If you really need it to, you can get it to do 160, and this can be such a pain as well, because you may switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. If you do, they have to switch theirs as well. And you can do that every single turn. So if you can build this Metagross up and just keep switching in and out with it, it can be such a pain. I was doing it one of the games. Not going to lie, it was quite a lengthy battle, but it completely worked. And they ended up just, I can't remember if I won or they ended up conceding. Either way, it was one of those things that would become a pain. These seem to be quite a regular thing, these ones. I've even got them in actual physical form quite a couple of times, and they seem to be about, but again, not too bad of a card. They've got the Ancient traits as well, so they'll be able to put 2 Pokemon cards on it, 2 Pokemon tool cards, sorry, I do apologise, and it does a lot of damage depending on the circumstances as well. You can read the pause of this video and read them for yourself if you wish to. Jirachi, again, for taking out an EX or getting it to switch out and getting them to retreat and take the energies off, can be quite good if you use Doom Desire. It will put your Pokemon on the bench and get them to take a card at the end of their turn, but it will either kill their EX or it will make them retreat, because if they retreat, it won't kill them. But again, it's one of those things. Kangaskhan, Dedenne is really good because he's an electric type, but he only takes 1 typing, 1 energy, and that is be able to pull out 2 basic Pokemon, or be able to do 20 times damage of energies attached to your active Pokemon. Again, if you've got a Pokemon out there so on the opposite field that's an EX or things like that, I'm always going to refer to EXs a lot, because there's a lot of times they are things like that. Or, for example, something like Conkeldurr, and they're building it up and they're putting a lot of HP on it. Then you are going to be able to use that and take off a good, at least, I don't know, say if Conkeldurr's got 6 energies on it, that's 120 HP it's going to be able to take out. So it's pretty good in that circumstance to be able to do a lot of damage for what little type of Pokemon it actually is. So yeah, it can be a good, and this is some of the item and support cards again that I use. You may tend to see that I use a lot of similar cards in my deck, but that's just because of the way I play. And 2 of the steel cards, these are the ones out of Primal Clash, which do 10 less the opponent. Sorry, I do apologise. The attacks of your opponent's Pokemon do 10 less damage, so it's always nice there. It might always be that game breaker, you never know. And 10 energies from that as well. And like I said, guys, I have been building up a hell of a lot of Pokemon cards. I'll just show you a few. I'll show you my EXs. I won't go through all of them, but I will show you what I have been got up to now. And unfortunately, I'm not able to use some of them. But Aggron EX, I could always invert this into my Steel deck, because I haven't actually, I only just recently got this, so I haven't been able to do anything. Ampharos EX, this is out the Ancient Origins. I do actually have the physical form of this as well. It looks absolutely awesome. And I do have the Primal Kyogre form. That just looks, it blows me away, that card. It really does. And I really hope that we can grab hold of the Groudon and Rayquaza. But what's annoying as hell is that I haven't actually got any Groudon EX or Kyogre EX in my physical form, in my actual deck that I have, not online. And I can't actually use it at the moment, so it's a pain. It's same with Mega Lucario. I have that, I can't use it. You'll see that with a couple of things on here. So, and this is the promo version of Blastoise and Blastoise EX, sorry. The Dialga EX, Dragonite EX, Groudon, and Groudon. I do actually have all 3 forms of the Groudon, which 2 of them from Primal Clash and 1 is a promo, so that's really cool. I've got all of them. I just wish I could get Primal Groudon. Holotra EX, I'm not really keen on him. I did use him, but I'm not a big fan of him. Hyocross EX, Super EX. Dragon EX, again, I'm not a massive fan. I tried to use it. It doesn't do much damage for the amount of complexity it has to have as well on its the moves that it needs, so it can work if you use its ability. If it's that's completely up to you. Lucario EX, that's what I need for my Mega in physical form, which can be a pain. Mega Charizard EX. I hate the fact that I have this card because I absolutely love it, but I cannot get a Charizard EX for the life of me, and it's been such a pain in my side because if I could use this card, I really would, and I've been wanting to use it for a long time. I got this quite a long time ago when the Flash Fire first came out, and since then I've just haven't. Mega Gardevoir EX, again, I haven't got the actual Gardevoir EX. This is from the Primal Clash, again, I believe it is. I do apologise if any of these are wrong, but I think I'm getting them right. Mega Latios EX, I did pull this the other day as well. I've been actually quite lucky with the EXs quite recently. And again, I can't use it, but I don't think its ability is too good because of the fact that it has to discard 2 energies, and then it can do 120 damage. So it's very similar to the kind of thing of Hooper EX, but it's still got to take 2 energies. I think if it took the only 1 energy, it might be a little bit better, or if it did a bit more damage, but maybe it might become a little overpowerful then, we're not sure. Mega Rayquaza EX, I would have preferred the other version, which is Emerald Break, I believe it is, which does 30 times the number of energies, or something like that. Again, I might be wrong with that, do apologise, but it does take 20 less damage from Leaf, Fire, Water, and Electric types, so might be something to take into notice there. Mega Tyranitar, Mega Venusaur, the normal Rayquaza EX, Sceptile EX, and the other Sceptile EX. This is a new one in the Ancient Origins. Not too bad of a card. If you can get Sleep Potion to be working for you, then you can do an extra 70 damage, which is a case of 130 damage. So that's a lot of damage to be doing with only 2 energies as well. That's really quick. And the Full Art Thundurus EX is the same of the other Thundurus EX. And White Kyurem EX. I got this on a pure lucky pack because I didn't buy any of the old packs anymore. And I managed to get this on just a free pack, I believe, on one of the challenges or something. I managed to pull White Kyurem EX, but I don't really use it because I don't think it's too good of a card. But, you know, it could be quite well because of the fact if you put Battle Compressor in there, you discard a lot of your energies and they'll be able to use it, so you can able to attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon and build it up fairly quickly so you can use Ice Burn and things like that. But see what I'm saying is the fact that it needs to discard 2 fire energies and attach to this Pokemon. Though, you could use this very well and use Dragon Energies, then I presume you wouldn't have to discard anything. I might be wrong with that, but, you know, there it is. And for the Versus, from this day, I've completed everything challenge-wise up to now, and was only like less than 2 days left for the next challenges. So anyway, guys, I do apologise if this video was a little bit long-winded. If you do want to see any more of my other decks, then just give me a shout. I'm happy to show you them, and I will be working them. I'm always changing my decks, so always take that into mind. And thank you for watching this video. I will be trying to bring out more. I do apologise, like I said, for the long wait, but I'm trying to keep on top of things, and I will try and bring out as much as I can. Thank you for watching, guys, and all you that have subscribed recently, I do really appreciate it. It's so hard to be able to publicise things nowadays, but I don't see many people actually doing these kind of videos, and I will continue to try and do them as much as possible, because I've really got into the Pokemon trading card game online now, and I will also bring out other content when it's capable, because obviously there's a lot of games coming out throughout this rest of this year, and I will try and bring them out when I can, so just bear with me, guys. But like I said, probably for the 3rd time now, thank you for watching, guys, and as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.